Hey, what's up everybody? It's Coach Matt over here at Primal Athlete Training Center, www.primalatc.com. You know, recently, both on the Primal Athlete Training Center Facebook page and at www.primalatc.com, I have been getting a lot of questions from athletes who are asking how they can get more height on their throw. So, for example, when you're throwing shot put, a lot of people want to get that ball nice and high in the air. If you're putting a lot of power behind it, the higher that you put it up in the air, the further it's going to go. Same thing in discus. A lot of people are throwing these line drives with discus. And the same way with disc, the higher that you throw that thing in the air, as long as you're using good technique and you have a lot of speed and a lot of power behind that throw, the further the discus is going to go. So this is a very typical question. What I want to show you guys is that throwing is a lot of leverage. So what I've done, we've taken one of our board press boards. This is also what we use to beat our athletes if they're not feeling good that day. We take one of our board press boards, a little 10-pound hex dumbbell paperweight, and we've got some Victoria's Secret pink hand lotion from one of our female athletes that does not like to get calluses on her hands and is trying to combat them. Funny thing is, with a gym like this, there's no way that you can defeat calluses. You will always get them. So what I want to do is show you what happens when you've got the fulcrum, which is the dumbbell, right in the middle of the board. We'll use this just like a seesaw, just like a catapult. So, we're barely having that thing balanced. So it's right in the middle of that lever. Okay? And think of it as a fulcrum, a lever, and the hand lotion represents the shot put. So if that fulcrum is right in the middle of that lever and you stop down, what you see is that the lotion or the shot or the discus did not go that high and it did not go that far. Now, what happens if we move the fulcrum a little bit more toward where I'm stomping down? So we've got the fulcrum more underneath toward where the power is generated, and we've got the shot or the lotion on one side. What do you think is going to happen? We've got more power because we have longer levers and that fulcrum is pulled more underneath us. Well, what does that have to deal with throwing? When you're in the power position, when you throw, your power leg is that fulcrum. For a lot of people, when they're in the power position, we know that we need to be balanced. We need to have that power leg underneath us when we get back in the power position. So we do that by checking and picking up this back leg. That means all of our weight is over the power leg. Well, this is your fulcrum, the same as that 10-pound dumbbell. Our body is that arm, that lever, and the shot is the pink hand lotion. So, if we're landing and that fulcrum is right in the middle, right underneath us, you're not going to get a good height and a lot of power on that ball. The further that fulcrum is underneath our bodies when we land, the more height we're going to be able to get on that ball or on that discus. The more height we're going to be able to get our hips, and the more vertical we're going to be able to get our bodies. So that's going to help increase the height. For a lot of people, this is the issue. If you're landing in power position and your foot is underneath your neck or underneath your face, that means you don't have that foot far enough underneath you. What I like to see is the foot underneath the hip and underneath the stomach. So instead of having the foot out here, pull that foot underneath you. Now that it's underneath you, when you turn and start to drive, now you're going to be driving up in the air. And the only place that that shot and that discus can go is up. As long as you've produced a lot of power and you've accelerated and have a lot of speed coming out of the back, and you accelerate through the middle and accelerate out the end, as long as you're putting a vertical push, exploding with those legs, getting your hips up and getting your body up in the air, you're going to see a lot more height on the discus and on the shot put. Guys, and hopefully this helps you out. I've gotten a lot of questions from people about getting height on the implement. Now, it's not just about getting your arm higher in the air. It all comes from the base. It comes from the power, from your power leg, it comes from your hips, and it comes from your body getting that ball up to vertical. If there's any other questions, you guys need to check out www.primalatc.com. Been getting a lot of questions on weight training and working out. There's a great book there. It's called The Ultimate Off-Season Training Program for Throwers. It's a 3-day-a-week training program. So whether you're in season or off season, if you want to train 3 days a week, this is the plan for you to check out. The 2-day plan, the in-season plan, is almost done. Going over some final editing stuff right now. As soon as that gets done, that will be up on the site for sale as well. It's an ebook. It downloads right to your email as soon as you place the order. So make sure you check it out. Get started on Monday. Get stronger for your season. You'll be happy you did.